Hello, good evening. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Welcome. How is everyone doing?
Om Shanti Sarabhai.
Shanti. Shanti. Ajay. How is everyone doing?
Om Shanti Saurabhai. Om Shanti to everybody.
Om Shanti. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Om Shanti. Good evening, everyone. We're doing fine. Thank you, Sarabhai.
Om Shanti. Good evening, everyone.
Today, we thought to keep this theme as think not, apply a dot. Think not, apply dot. Does everyone like this theme today?
Yes.
Is she coming? Okay. Especially in Sundays, Murli, this thought came up, right? That whenever there is a little, the stage of the mind fluctuates. I think Baba gave us this method, and the method is these two words, not and dot. So today we thought, let us explore and discuss further what exactly it means and how to really apply that not and the dot. And Baba was saying, think not, apply dot. So think not. It's like whenever any situation comes, does any situation come to anyone? Any situation comes, right? What is the purpose? So what exactly a situation is? Situation is, so generally we do so many things during the day. We don't even remember what happened. We're just in the flow. But if we were to rewind, our story of the day, and if the reel, when we are rewinding, gets stuck in a particular scene, it means that there is some influence that scene has, caused on the mind. And so that basically means it's a situation, right? So when a situation comes, what is my response to the situation? Generally, we tend to think about it. We tend to think about it. What happened, why it happened, things like that. We tend to think about it. And that's where this suggestion came, that the first step is actually not to think. And the reason, as we all know, is the more we are thinking about it, the more we actually make it big in our mind. The situation has happened, but I am actually making it big in my mind. And so then the first thought is not to think, just to trim it. The example is like in a garden, if so there is this lawn, nice grass, but then there are weeds. So when we look at a weed, our first reaction is to trim it, right? We would trim it.
Pull it out, trim it.
Trim it, cut it. And so we are basically saying that we are not allowing the weed to grow, right? So we are putting a kind of a trim, like crossing it. So in the same way, any thought which is there unnecessarily in the mind, you first need to just trim it. But just trimming it may not allow for us to see that weed for some time, but later it will still emerge. So we need to work on the seed of it and really maybe uproot it or, spray it such that the seed is actually dissolved. And so the same thing applies here in the mind also. I can say, okay, I'm not going into expansion of that thought, but then the next is to apply a dot. Apply a dot really simply means that I am looking at that situation from the perspective of the soul. I'm reinforcing the soul perspective so that the situation doesn't even look like a situation. So the seed of the situation, actually the seed is always, it's linked to role consciousness or body consciousness, which is expansion. So if we're saying applying a dot, essentially we are coming back to the soul. Coming back to the soul. It's as if we are converging our thoughts such that they reach to a dot. The converging is like making them, less and less and less until they reach a dot. And from that perspective of the soul, when I've let go of everything else until just this tiny being remains, and I know that from this eternal perspective of the soul, what matters, what doesn't matter. So from the eternal perspective of the soul, what really matters to me now? And then I'll realize is what matters is not the situation, but the actor, the soul behind the mask. And then there is love and respect towards the soul. And it's easy to then let go of everything else. And so that's why it says, apply a dot. So this consciousness, this practice, it's more like when we are saying converge or, put a stop, it's more like when we are driving, it's more like applying a brake. Right? And you know how brakes work? How brakes work. And when we buy a car, we always check its brakes. Right? So we will go on a highway and we'll, as we are doing a test drive, we would always try and apply a brake to see if it is working or not. And how does a brake work? How does a brake work? Because when we apply a brake, it stops the car which is moving at such a fast speed. It really needs a lot of power in order to apply a brake. There are different kinds of brake, right? There are disc brake and mechanical, there's hydraulic brakes, right? And so the principle on which the brakes work is like, we are kind of pressing the pedal, but the force that is, we are pushing it with, it kind of amplifies it. It has a mechanism with which it amplifies, and that amplified force is then applied on the wheels. And that's why the wheels will actually stop. The car will come to a stop. So इसी तरह से जैसे ये जो ब्रेक है हमारे मन को भी वो ब्रेक लगाने का ये प्रैक्टिस अभ्यास हमें करना है बार 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 बार. तो पर उसके लिए वो जो सिस्टम है, तो ब्रेक का भी सिस्टम होता है, पहले बनाना पड़ता है. Those who are in that field may know, right? तो पूरा अंदर से सिस्टम डिजाइन करते हैं ताकि जब वो ब्रेक लगाना चाहे तब वो ब्रेक लग पाए. So as I am in the midst of the day-to-day activities, so the practice is to apply a brake, to test my brake if I'm able to put a stop or not. And so that essentially is the practice of applying a dot. How quickly can I drop this label, this story, this character, and how quickly I can come back to my reality of who I am, why am I here, who do I belong to, what do I have to do. और जितना जितना ये अभ्यास बढ़ाते जाते हैं, actually that is what this game is all about, right? जब हम बचपन में होते थे तो we used to play a game where we would draw like parallel lines and there would be a cross and a zero, right? Has anyone played that game? Maybe kids have played. Anyone remembers that that game?
Yeah, sort of like tic-tac-toe.
Tic-tac-toe, right? Yeah. And so that game is basically we are saying not and dot. We're saying not and dot. But I thought it was really powerful. This, if I just remember these two words, not and dot. Not and dot. I don't have to go into expansion and I really have to put a break. Right? Go into the essence. Right. Does anyone know Bruce Lee? Anyone knows Bruce Lee?
Auntie.
Yeah, you know Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
The actor?
Yeah, Bruce Lee is the what do you call the
Kung Fu?
Kung Fu, right? There's yes.
Martial arts.
Martial.
So there's a very nice interview. It's a short interview, but in there he talks about this whole aspect of how to train the mind. So he's basically a very famous karate player, and he talks about this whole game of, even athletes. It's like if I'm working with in whatever field, if any thought repeatedly comes over and over again, it actually influences my productivity. And so there are techniques that they use in order to just, stop those thoughts and just flow in the moment, be in the zone. So I'll just maybe play a little video and we can all.
This is what it is, okay? I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
So he's saying, be like water.
What?
And how did he describe water? How did he describe water? Water is? It takes the shape of wherever it is kept. Yeah. You said formless, shapeless, right? Odorless. Right? Yeah. Right. And so when I think less, then I can easily kind of flow, accommodate, whatever situations there are. But the more I think, that's why Dadi Janki's slogan was, what was Dadi Janki's slogan? Anyone remembers?
No waste.
No waste. Yeah. And so her slogan was, yeah, no waste, right? And another slogan was, don't think. That was a slogan. Don't think. You know, whenever anyone would go to her with any problem, because, you know, it's such a big organization, so many issues will come. She will first say, don't think. Just put a full stop. And she would, you know, that's why our practice also is, right? Like, whenever we start something, first we just go in silence. We format our mind. It's okay, let us remember Baba. That's what we say. Chalo, 1 minute Baba ko yaad karte hain. Let's sit in silence. And the reason is I'm just formatting, right? Think not, so that nothing of my mind, manmat, or anything else is mixed in our conversation. It's like all coming from God. Right? So the more I think, the more I'm actually mixing. I'm mixing my insecurities in whatever is actually happening. Right? When we look at thought, how is a thought created? How is a thought created? Any thought. And, you know, the answer is the thoughts are created by the awareness that we hold.
The information we consume.
The information we consume, right? Right. तो जो हम कहते ना हिंदी में कहते स्मृति, तो जिस स्मृति में हम होते हैं वैसे ही संकल्प आते हैं. तो अगर हम इसी स्मृति में हैं कि, और स्मृति का आधार है बस इतना ही कि मैं क्या हूँ, मैं कौन हूँ, मेरा क्या है, यही स्मृति है. तो इस स्मृति के आधार से जो भी स्मृति होती है वैसे ही संकल्प चलते हैं. तो जब ये स्मृति होती है कि मैं जो भी रोल है उसमें है, तो उसके अनुसार फिर थॉट्स आते हैं. और जब ये स्मृति होती है कि मैं आत्मा हूँ, मैं परम धाम से आया हूँ, आई एम प्लेइंग माई रोल, दिस इज द टाइम टू गो बैक होम, माइन इज ओनली वन, द डिवाइन नन अदर. तो इस स्मृति से फिर संकल्प भी हमारे काफी कम चलते हैं. सो इन द अवेयरनेस आई कीप द डॉट एंड देन माई थॉट्स आर नॉट, काफी कम थॉट्स चलेंगे. जब भी हम योग में बैठते हैं, when we sit in meditation, so many times a lot of thoughts come. Is that right? Is that right? जब भी योग में बैठते हैं तो काफी थॉट्स चलते हैं. तो what should we do? तो क्या हमें करना चाहिए? So there is a little story about it. It's a very nice story. Let's just watch this story.
Once upon a time, there lived a Zen master in a Buddhist monastery. One day, a man came to see him and said, "Sir, my mind is very disturbed. Many thoughts keeps coming to my mind all the time. Please give me some mantra to reduce the thoughts of the mind." Zen master looked at him and said, "My friend, you start doing meditation every day. By doing meditation, slowly and slowly, your mind will start to calm down." But the man said, "Sir, please don't tell me to do meditation. I can't do meditation because when I try to meditate, even more thoughts starts to come to my mind, and most of the thoughts are negative, which makes my mind more restless." The Zen master said, "Don't worry, son. It happens in the initial stage of meditation. But by practicing meditation slowly and slowly, your mind will start to calm down." But the man said, "Sir, meditation is not my cup of tea. You please give me some mantra to calm down my mind. The Zen master saw that this man is not going to understand like this. Then he said, "Okay, if you insist, then I give you a mantra which can calm your mind." Then he whispered a mantra in his ear and said, "You have to recite this mantra by sitting alone every day." The man got very happy and said, "Thanks, master. I will surely recite this mantra every day." As he was about to turn back to leave, the Zen master said, "But remember one thing, don't think of a monkey while reciting this mantra. Otherwise, mantra will become ineffective." The man said, "Sir, why would I think of a monkey? I have never thought of a monkey in my whole life. You don't worry about it." And he left from there. The man came back home happily and sat down to recite mantra. As he started chanting mantra, he remembered the words of the Zen master that don't think of a monkey when you recite this mantra. As he remembered the words of the master, pictures of monkey started to come to his mind. He started to try and ignore the thoughts of monkey, but the more he tried to ignore the monkeys, the more the monkeys started to come to his mind. And after some time, his mind was fully crowded with monkeys. The man thought, "Why Zen master gave me this instruction? If he knew that monkey was a trouble, then he should not have mentioned it. No other animal is coming to my mind, and monkeys are not living." The man got up. He took bath, changed to fresh clothes, and again sat alone in a room to chant mantra. As soon as he closed his eyes, monkeys were nudging him. They were all around him. Wherever he looked, he would see monkeys. By night, he even started seeing monkeys in the face of his family members. Man was going mad. The more he was trying to ignore monkeys, the more monkeys were coming to his mind. By morning, he was almost mad. Next morning, he ran back to the Zen master and told him everything and said, "Sir, what kind of mantra you have given me? Till yesterday, I had never thought about monkey, and now my mind is completely filled with thoughts of monkeys, and monkeys are not leaving me even for a second. Please help me and free my mind of these monkeys." Zen master said, "Okay, just relax and stop reciting mantra. Don't do anything." The man sat down relaxed and stopped reciting mantra. He was surprised that now there was no thought of monkey. Everything went to normal. Then Zen master said, "You see, my friend, I just wanted to tell you about the nature of our mind. Never try to fight with your mind. Just as the more you press the spring, the more it will jump. In the same way, the more you try to suppress your mind, the more it will become stronger. Be calm, start watching the thoughts of the mind, and you will find that your mind will gradually become calm automatically. And to watch your mind, you need to do meditation." If we see in our lives, we will find that our mind is just like a monkey, which keeps jumping here and there all the time senselessly. If you want to stop this monkey mind forcefully, then you won't be able to do this. Like, the more you try to press a spring, the more it will jump. Similarly, the more you try to stop the thoughts of your mind, the more those thoughts will come to your mind. Expert says that a human mind creates anything between 36,000 to 80,000 thoughts in a day. If you will try to stop these thoughts forcefully, then you won't be able to stop them. Instead, the very effort to stop it gives it energy. The very effort to avoid it becomes a tension. When you start to avoid something, you start paying too much attention to it. Therefore, there is no need to stop thoughts. Only thing you need to do is to watch your thoughts unattached. In our routine life, generally, we are not able to watch our thoughts, but in meditation, you can easily do it. Therefore, You need to practice meditation to witness your mind. Some people experience that when they start meditation, more thoughts start to come to their mind. But the reason behind it is that when we start meditating, the old impressions hidden in our mind start to erupt. Just like if you clean your house, then all the garbage comes out. Similarly, when you start meditating, all the garbage of the mind starts coming out and you will start having more thoughts. But you need not to worry about it and keep watching your thoughts unattached and continue your meditation practice. Slowly and slowly, when all the garbage of the mind comes out, then the mind itself will start to calm down and you will start having less thoughts. And with long practice, you will surely be able to control your mind.
Does it kind of make ring a bell? This video? That's true, right? I think it was a nice kind of way to understand how mind works, right? And how not to think. And that's what it's like. It's not like I'm trying not to think, but I'm holding an awareness, and that will automatically create a certain quality of thoughts. And really nicely described, even when we sit in meditation, because it is undergoing cleansing, a lot of thoughts will come, but they're actually coming to take leave. Yeah. Right. You know, in this video, there was one word. They said, witness your thoughts. Witness. And that's the first, we say, practice in meditation also. Witness. What is it called in Hindi? Witness? Has anyone been a witness?
Sakshi.
Sakshi. Yeah, and sometimes whenever some event has happened in a court, they will ask for witness. Some witness has to come, right? So what is the perspective of a witness? What does it mean to be a witness?
Gawahi dena.
Gawahi dena, right?
So to be detached from the outcome and
To be detached from the outcome, right?
Basically detach from the situation itself and then look at the situation as if you are not there and someone else.
Someone else is there, right? Yeah, we call it witness consciousness. Witness consciousness. And है तो बहुत सहज देखा जाए, but at that instant, when I realize witness consciousness, कुछ हुआ तो नहीं, मेरे साथ नहीं हुआ. It didn't happen to me. Witness. So I'm just witnessing what happened with this person. This person could be this role that I'm playing. What happened to this person? And then in that consciousness, without getting engaged emotionally, that's a witness.
Or just narrating the facts
Or narrating the
without
facts.
getting involved.
Without getting involved in it. And so that's the first step in meditation. So I just look at the entire life, right, as a witness. Whatever has happened, ya jo ho bhi raha hai, as a witness. It is happening with the character. And then I gradually come to this realization that this character and the world of the character is completely different. And who I am and my story, my eternity is completely different. And then this is how I'm applying a dot, right? This is how I'm coming back to the consciousness of a dot. And naturally then, it's like the mind then is filled with silence. And then it's like then our, whatever actions we perform, then silence is filled in those actions. So Dadi Janki, they would say, but Dadi, you talk so much, you interact with people so much, where are you silent? She will say, no, I'm silent inside. I'm just coming outside for the sake of coming outside, but I'm silent inside. So that's why her words would, pull or empower the souls with silence, because she's coming from that space of silence. Yeah. So those were a few thoughts. Would also like to open up and anyone else wants to share any realization.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So situations that we talked about,
Mm.
we are trying to train not to react to all situations, but there are situations where you might be in danger or not in a normal conversation. Like it could be you're going for a place and then you need to think quick and then act upon it. I'm just trying to understand how in a situation like that, this concept would fit in. Is that even practical, or is that going to do more damage than good? Okay, let me pause, not think, and immediately. So I'm just not sure.
Right, good. So there are situations where we have to think fast, act fast, right? And so then how does this concept fit in? And so really, and in those times, this is actually even more important. And the reason is that, if a situation demands a fast action, then my thoughts have to be clear. If I have a single thought, then I can just act on it. And it is fast. But if there are so many thoughts, then I get confused and there's a lot of noise in my head. And then I don't know what to act, when to act. And that's when there is more chance of failing. And so when we are saying think not, it means that I'm stable in my stage. And then I know, okay, in this situation, I have to do this. So it's not about, in a way, inaction, but it's about focused action that way, right? So that I'm only focused on what I have to do. And then I just get it done. Generally, if I think too much, then I'm actually complicating a situation in my mind.
So if I take Bruce Lee's example, like be shapeless, be fluid, and then adjust to that situation. So is it more like don't create too many complicated thoughts to say
Mhm.
this is exactly how it needs to be done. Instead, if you train your mind very well,
Mm.
in a difficult situation, your brain, your thoughts are more clear,
Mm.
focused. So you're not going through too many analysis.
Right.
Is that what we're trying to get to?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's not to, we say analysis paralysis, sometimes we say that. And athletes or sports people also, if we talk to them, they would always say that, the more I just have this thought I'm going to enjoy myself when I'm out there, the more the natural game will emerge.
Mm.
But if they think too much, oh, this is the scoreboard, these many runs I have to score, and these many balls are left, I'll play this shot, that shot. And what if the bowler bowls here? What if he bowls there? If he's actually thinking too much, then he'll probably not be able to, perform that well. And so, if we ask even the most successful people, they have already they generally keep it very simple. They'll say, for example, in cricket, that's what they say: see the ball, hit the ball. That's okay. I'm seeing the ball, I'm hitting the ball. That's it. So it's very simple. So in the same way in life also, the simpler I keep my inner world, the faster actually I become outside. And that's why, we say slow is fast. These days, even at work, I've felt that there's so many meetings and meetings and meetings. Our calendars are so busy with meetings that we have less time to actually do stuff.
Yeah.
And we are, generally we get tired of meetings. In meetings, we discuss a lot. We'll have to do this, that. But the real execution is less. We think too much. Sometimes it happens like that. So in our company, like one of our seniors created this rule sometime back. I don't know if it is practiced now, but he would kind of set a limit for the meetings and say not so many meetings, not so many discussions, because a lot of time actually gets wasted in it. Mm-hmm.
One thing I like, sometimes it's not about thinking slow or thinking very fast, but what I think it's think proper. Like, sometimes what happens, like, you may be thinking slow and you may be thinking like, whatever decision I'm making is correct because, but then later, maybe, if you fail in that particular, or maybe your if choice is wrong or something, you get trapped into some difficult situation. That time you feel like, okay, the thinking was not proper, or maybe. So I mean, like, that's how we have to do. It's not about slow or fast. It has to be proper or.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Proper thinking or clear thinking. Right. Yeah. That's right.
आज सुबह भी बात हो रहा था कि घर में हम मतलब भगवान का या बाबा का फोटो रख लें एक किसी कोने में, तो हमारा घर मतलब प्रॉब्लम लेस, लाइक जैसे वैकुंठ की तरह बन जाएगा, जहाँ कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, जहाँ कोई लड़ाई झगड़े नहीं है। तो उसमें ऐसा लगता है कि अगर हम अपने घर में भगवान को बैठा लेते हैं, तो हम क्या सोचेंगे, घर भगवान का है, घर का मालिक भगवान है, हम तो खाली यहाँ पर रह रहे हैं। तो जो भी घर के अंदर अच्छा बुरा होगा, सबका मालिक देखभाल वही करेगा, चाहे उसको हम भगवान कहें, बाबा कहें, कि वो देखने वाला है। अगर कोई बात किसी ने कुछ कहा भी, बाबा देखेगा ना, भगवान देखेगा, मुझे क्या जरूरत है, मैं क्यों सोचूं उस बात को, वो बैठा है, मेरा बाप है देखने वाला, जिस पर मुझे विश्वास है। तो वैसे भी जनरली क्या होता है, कोई भी कितनी बड़ी से बड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो, अगर हम उसको समय दें थोड़ा सा रिएक्ट करने से पहले, तो मालूम पड़ेगा धीरे धीरे वो प्रॉब्लम कम होती जाती है। जैसे किसी ने भी कहा है कि एकदम रिएक्ट मत करो, थोड़ा देर रुक जाओ, थोड़ा शांत होकर बैठो, थोड़ा सोचो, सोचने शांत हो जाओगे थोड़ी देर के लिए, उसके बाद फिर जो करना करो। लेकिन जनरली क्या, जितनी देर हम कुछ नहीं सोचते हैं, इग्नोर कर देते हैं चीजों को, तब तक हमको बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसी मालूम पड़ती हैं कि हमको रिएक्शन करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है। मतलब रिएक्शन कोई और करेगा, ये हमारी तरफ से, मतलब अगर हम ऑलमाइटी के ऊपर छोड़ देते हैं कि वो टेक केयर करेगा हमारा, और टेक केयर करता भी है कि उस समय ऐसा सबसे बड़ा डॉक्टर समय है, तो बड़े से बड़े घाव का, बड़े से बड़े नुकसान का भी भरपाई वही करता है। तो जैसे आज सुबह था कि घर में मुझे बैठा लो, मेरा फोटो रख लो, तो तुम्हारा घर वैकुंठ बन जाएगा। मतलब बाबा ऐसे भी कहते हैं ना, तुम्हारे सोचने का भी मैं करूंगा, सारे काम मैं करूंगा, तुमको सोचने की जरूरत भी नहीं। तो ऐसा लगा कि यही मतलब कि थिंक नॉट, मतलब कुछ नहीं सोचना है और डॉट लगा देना है। मतलब सोचने का काम हम जो हमारा मालिक है उसके ऊपर छोड़ दें, और हम उस पर बिंदु लगा दें, बिंदु बनकर बिंदु लगा।
ऐसे भी कहते हैं ना कि घर में जब कोई बड़ा होता है तो छोटे बच्चे जो होते हैं उसके जो नीचे में है, उसको चिंता नहीं होती है, अरे वो देखेगा ना। तो हम यहाँ चाहे कितने भी बड़े हैं, लेकिन मेरा बड़ा वो बाबा बैठा है, या गॉड कहो, कुछ भी कहो, बैठा है। तो ये हमारा अनुभव है कि कैसे वो सारी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करता है। लेकिन मेरे को पक्का निश्चय है कि हाँ ये है, बैठा है और वो देखता भी है। तो इसलिए बाबा जो कहते हैं थिंक, ज्यादा सोचना नहीं है, बस वहां डॉट लगा दो। कई बार होता है हम घर में बैठे हैं, चलो डॉट नहीं लगता है, तो मेरा अपना अनुभव है, हम कुछ भी नहीं सोचे, चलो हम वॉक पे निकल जाएं, बस एक बाबा का गीत लगा दें, एक बाबा को याद करें, वो प्रॉब्लम ऑटोमेटिकली शॉर्ट आउट हो जाती है। कोई थॉट चलता ही नहीं, पॉइंट। तो नॉट थिंक बट डॉट। तो ये हमारे बहुत अनुभव इस टाइप से कि हाँ जो बाबा कहता है, जो आज बाबा ने गुप्ता भाई बता रहे थे कि हाँ जो बाबा ने कहा ना कि 100 अगर चिंतन करना हो तो 100 का चिंतन करो, 100 का दर्शन करो। अगर करना है पर चिंतन पर दर्शन नहीं, एक कोठरी बनाओ, उसमें बाबा को बिठा दो, हाँ उससे बातें करो, कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है उससे बातें करो, बातें करोगे तो वो प्रॉब्लम ऑटोमेटिकली शॉर्ट आउट होती है। तो तुम्हारा घर बैकुंठ, बैकुंठ मतलब ये नहीं कि गोल्डन दुनिया वाला बैकुंठ, माने बैकुंठ में क्या है, सुख है, शांति है, आनंद है। तो वो हमारा जो घर है हमारा, क्योंकि किसी ना किसी से कोई ना कोई बात आ जाती है ना, इसलिए हमारे अंदर में वो थॉट चलते रहते हैं। तो जब हमारे पास में कोई किसी की बातें करने के लिए समय ही नहीं है, हम तो बाबा से बातें कर रहे हैं, अपना चिंतन कर रहे हैं, तो किसी की बात एंटर करने के लिए टाइम ही नहीं, तो सुख शांति तो ऑटोमेटिकली हो गई ना। मतलब ये मेरा थॉट है, तो सुख शांति तो ऑटोमेटिकली हो गई ना, तो बैकुंठ हो गया ना। और वो मुखिया बैठा है तो वो देखेगा ना, उसका घर है ना, उसकी प्रॉब्लम है, मेरी प्रॉब्लम माने उसकी प्रॉब्लम, तो उसकी प्रॉब्लम है तो वो देखता है, ये मेरा तो अनुभव है।
और दूसरा दूसरा हम लोग है ना, जितना थिंग इज लाइक the sooner we come out of that situation, the healing time will be less, like, you know, or maybe you will be able to do something better. Otherwise, just get into that round get into this situation. It's a zero outcome best. Everything is best. Like, so
Very good. Right. Any other inspirations? It's either think not or it's think lot. Right? It's either think not or it's think lot. And then when I'm in that space with Baba, with myself, then I naturally think very less. And when I move to the world of expansion and everything, then I begin to think a lot more. Thinking here doesn't mean that, I don't think at all, but it's about not thinking about that which is not important at this moment.
इसमें छोटा सा एग्जांपल है. Once a man was to a sect to his guru. What is weight? Then he gave him a pencil. Keep it up ahead. He was keeping it 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. But Guru says, no, keep it on hand. After 6, 7, 8 hours, he said, I am tired of it. Then Guru told, this has any weight. This pencil does not have any weight. How you are getting tired? So, means if we are thinking a small thought continuously for hours together, it will become a big mountain.
Then it becomes heavy. Very nice. Yeah.
एक शिष्य गुरु के पास गया, बोला वेट का क्या मतलब होता है? तो गुरु ने उसको पेंसिल दी, बोले उसका हाथ में पकड़ लो. कितने टाइम के पूरे नहीं कहा, 15 मिनट हुआ, 20 मिनट, 1 घंटा, 2 घंटा, 3 घंटा, 6 घंटा, 5 घंटा, 6 घंटा, वो पकड़े बैठा है. बोलता गुरु जी मैं थक रहा हूँ. बोले क्यों थक रहे हो? इसमें वजन क्या है? लेकिन बोला नहीं इतने देर हो गई मुझे. मतलब हम छोटे से भी किसी विचार को सोचते रहते हैं, तो एक विचार पहाड़ बनता है और वो हमारे से प्रीतम बोझ जैसे. गुलाब के फूल को भी अगर थोड़ी देर भी पकड़ेंगे तो आप थक जाएंगे. थोड़ी देर नहीं, अगर थोड़ी देर नहीं, अगर एक सेकंड में तो कुछ नहीं होता. गुलाब के फूल में तो कोई वेट नहीं है, नो वेट. बट उसको भी अगर 1 घंटा पकड़ेंगे तो 6 घंटा.
Right. Very good.
इसलिए बाबा कहते हैं कोई थॉट क्रिएट नहीं करो, जस्ट वॉच.
Yeah. Be a witness.
साक्षी दृष्टा हो जाए बाबा के शब्द में.
A witness. Right. Yeah.
Did not understand the same English.
You understood, right?
No. No, my talk is not understand.
Achha. Yeah, she's saying become a witness, right? Sakshi. Yeah. Great. Any other inspirations? Anyone would like to add or share? So let's take a few moments, right? And just experiment with being a witness. A witness doesn't interfere in whatever is happening. I feel that I am a witness. I'm just observing the flow of life all around me. I don't interfere in the flow of life. In this life, there is absolutely nothing outside that I have control of. I begin to realize that this huge play of life is just meant for me to enjoy. I realize that my existence, my identity, has nothing to do with whatever is happening in this play of life. Let me disassociate myself with whatever is happening around me. As I begin to merge the thoughts of the story into a point and I come back to my eternal identity of being a tiny point of light. Completely pure, completely innocent, completely wise. I bring my attention to this beautiful point of light. This being of light is noble. This is a living light whose mind is filled with thoughts of love and peace for everyone. This being of light lives in the dimension of light, above and beyond the play of life, where all these tiny beings of light, we live here in our home, where we communicate in silence. And here we gently rest our mind on the one to whom we belong. We let go of everything else and hold on to the one, the being of unconditional love. I feel loved and protected in the company of the One. I just experience this company, letting go of everything else. The entire physical dimension is a separate world. Now, gently, as I return back to the physical dimension, I'm aware of this dimension of light, of my eternal reality, as I come into the expansion of life. I hold the dot in my awareness that allows me to think clearly, and be myself. Oh, sure. Shanti, thank you everyone for joining. Appreciate your time and presence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarbai. Om Shanti.
Om
Thank you.
Shanti. Thank you, Bhaiji.
Thank you, Sarbai. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Sarbai. Om Shanti.
Sarbai, Om Shanti.